Hello there, folks. Hey, this quick video today is going to talk about some methods that you can use with the real-time clock and Redline product to tell you what time it is and to do certain things based on certain times of the day or month or whatever you want to try. So in this case, what I'm going to focus on here is over in the lower right-hand corner of Crimson. If I click on the word System, and I've already done it here, but if you expand the functions tree, so you expand the functions tree here, and then expand the time category, you're going to see that in here there's a bunch of get now, get time, get hour, minutes, and so forth. And some of these will have help documents, some won't on here. So what I'm going to do here in this example is I'm going to show you how to maybe get the current second, if you will. So I'm going to go over here to the left, go to data tags on the left. I already have some tags in here, but I'll come to this folder a little later. And I'm going to create a new integer tag because the seconds will go from 0 to something based on the second. And I'm going to change the name of this here, this tag. I'm going to call this seconds, for instance. Okay. And out here in the source, right here, you got two ways you can do this. You can go down here and choose general. You can type something. Or if I go over here to the right side, and I'm going to drag this, what I think get section, see if it works. I don't know if it will or not, but I'll try it. I'll drop that right there. Now you're going to notice that in the parentheses, there's a 0 there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my cursor inside here, and I'm going to type the word get now, open, close, and then another close, and hit enter. So if you look at this, if I can zoom in on here, you can see there's an open parentheses there, and there's another close parentheses there, and then in between here, team, is a conglomeration of open close parentheses in here. So this function, theoretically, should return the current seconds on the real-time clock. So to try this, I'm going to go over here to display pages. I'll go over here to the right side. I'm just going to drag this guy out here like this, and I'll place it on my screen. I'm actually using a little 4-inch screen for this test today. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to primitives on the right. And if I go into the core primitives team, all the way on the bottom here is a time and date clock. So I'm going to grab this dude and I'll drag it out here. This is kind of a raw little thing that's in here. I'll make it a little wider. And I'm going to double click on this just so we can correlate this seconds here with this pre-built primitive, if you will. So here's the time now. That's what it's called. That's what it's calling. If I go to the format, I can hit the poll down here. And I can say, you know what, I want to see date and time, local format. I'm going to do, this is going to sound weird, but I'm going to switch this to 24-hour because you're going to see something interesting happen as I go from the 12 to 1 p.m. range. Local, that doesn't matter. I'm going to do show seconds because I want to see the seconds. And then down here, I might pick show the year. I'll do 4 digits. And show the month is I'll do his name here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to click the OK button. And I'm going to go ahead and download this to my screen. Now, before I do it, whoops, that's not the screen I'm opening. I'm looking at this one right here. So this is currently the display page that's on there. So if I go ahead and hit the download here, boom. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I was just playing with this. I got to change something here. I don't think it'll take it. Over here, I need to make this auto Ethernet 1. Okay, now it should take it. All right, there we go. So let's see if it refreshes here. So you can see here that this is correlating to the clock down here. And I want to show you what happens when it rolls over to 60 seconds, if you will. Most of us are familiar with 60 seconds being in a minute usually. So let's see what happens here when this gets to what we think is the end of the minute. Let's see what it does here. Because you're going to see something. It's not going to actually go to 60. It's going to go from 0 to 59. Watch right here. Boom. There it is. So it actually goes from 0 to 59. So that gives that. Now if I go back to Crimson and go over here, and let's put a couple more tags on here with this. We got the seconds. So I'm going to create another one here called minutes. And then I'll create another one just for giggles. We'll call this one hours. Okay. All right, so the get in the minutes, I'm going to go over here to the right, There's a function here called getMin. That means get minutes. I'll drag this guy out here. I'll put it right there. Once again, I'll click inside the parentheses here and type the word GetNow. And 2 more open close. Boom. Okay. You'll notice, team, the tags turn yellow when I do that. That indicates it's a very simple formula tag equal to this function. And the hours one, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab the get hours, put it right there. Boom. Once again, I'll put get now in between here. So that's the function it executes. All right. So we got those 2. Let's go over here and check this. I'll grab these 2 guys right here on the right side, data tags, drag them out here like this. And I'll make a right click and I'll say, you know what, guys, you need to be the same size as this dude. And you know, else, I always have this too big. I don't know why I make it so, but I'll do it like that. And then let me make these guys. Okay, now copy, same size as. There we go. And of course, we can line these 2 up. Align with the left of this guy right here. And then now we can move this guy up a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and download this and see what we get now. Okay, so look, if you look, you've got, here's your seconds, correlates to that. There's your minutes, correlates to that. And there's your hours at 11. So when this, the reason I picked the 12-hour, the 24-hour military format for this is because when this runs over to 1 p.m. today, this number will go from 12 to 13, even though the clock here will show, well, no, this will show 13 hours. This number here will go from 12 to 13. It won't go to 1 p.m. So the hours through the day are going to go from 0 to 23, number of hours in a day. The minutes is going to go from 0 to 59, just like the number of seconds is going to go from 0 to 59. So keep that in mind. That's the range you're going to see on these particular numbers. Okay. Now, what if I wanted to, let's go a little further with this test. What if I wanted to do some kind of example where whenever this thing reached, say, at the 15-second point, we'll just pick on minutes because that's quick and easy for us to do in a video. And let's say at every 15 seconds, I want to turn on some output thing. I just want to turn on some light or something when it equals the 15-second thing. So if I go over here to data tags on the left, and if I click on the seconds here, okay, there's that. So this is rolling through. If I go to the triggers tab for this example, I'm picking on the 15-second time. I just want you to remember that. On the triggers tab, down here where it says trigger mode disabled, I could pick at data match, for instance. So that means whenever this equals some number, and I'm going to put in 15, well, actually I could put in 14, but anyway, I'll do 14. That's the 15-second. But at that count, let's stick with 15. Okay. I want to turn something on. So down here in the action, let's say that I want to make a light turn on. So I'm going to say light, L-I-G-H-T, space 1 equals, and a 1 equal sign will assign 2 equal signs. We'll ask the question. So I'll do that. Now watch what happens. I do not have, before I hit enter, of course it disappeared, but I do not have a tag over here called light. So I'm going to type that again here. Once I navigate away, it disappeared. Light equals 1. You don't have to use the space. I always do, just because it's easier to read. Okay, so when I hit enter, watch what it does. Crimson's going to compile. It says, hey, wait a minute. I don't have a tag here called that. Do you want me to create it automatically? Or did you maybe type this wrong? I'm going to say, yes, I want to create it. But the light, in this case, only has 2 conditions, team, on, off. So I'm going to use a flag tag, because that's a binary or a Boolean in our software. And I'll click yes. And now I have a new tag here called light over here. And this is going to turn the tag on. All right, let's just test this, and then we'll cover what turns off the light. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to display pages. And I'll drag this new tag out here just so we can see. And my goal is to also have it turn on a light. So in this example, I'll go over to the right, go to primitives. I'm going to go to the home directory, my primitives. And I'll go into the category called indicators or buttons. No, I don't want to go there. Hold on. That's where it was. Yeah, I'm going to go into indicators. Okay, this is what I meant indicators. But anyway, and I'm going to grab this labeled LED one here. So if I click on it one time, again, you see there's a bunch of pre-built different colored ones. I'm going to grab the red guy out. I'll drag it right here. And I'm going to double click on this guy. Now you can see that crimson brings up the properties of the indicator 1. I'm perfectly fine with the red being the off. I want the on to be a green. Notice that crimson automatically kicked you into symbol factory over here. So in symbol factory, I'm going to go into indicator lights 2 directory, I think. Indicator lights 2. Or I'm in gadget lights here. Maybe it's gadget lights 2. Sorry, team. And I'm going to grab this green one, or any of your choice, and drop it right there. Now, I'm going to use the light tag here to decide which one's on or off. So I'll go over to the right, go to data tags. I'm going to grab this guy, drop it right here. Boom. If the light equals 0, it'll show this one. If light equals 1, it should show this picture. All right, looks good. Click OK. Let me check something here before I download. Okay, good. This is going to work out good. We're currently at that time. So I'm going to go ahead and download. Let's see what it does here. Keep going to that app for some reason, team. Need to close it. All right. So if you look here, the seconds right now is currently at 34 or 35. Well, we were saying that when this gets to 15, it should turn it on. So let's see what happens. I could have made these data entry, could have doctored this up so we could fast forward, but that's all right. Let's see what it does here. So according to the logic, the trigger, when it equals that, the seconds equals 15, bam, it should turn the light on. Before it even gets here, I'll just tell you what the next question is going to be is, well, what will turn the light off? So let's see what happens here first at the 15-second count interval here. There we go. Now, notice it's stuck on, and the reason it's stuck on is because the trigger, we're doing this at the trigger, we're saying data match, when it equals 15, that turned it on. Okay, that worked out pretty darn good if you ask me. Now, within the same 60-second realm, if we were to go down here and add data match 2, we could say, you know what, at, say, 20 seconds, go and pick a number greater than this here. I'm going to go at 20 count, past the minute, if you will. I want to turn the light off. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. I can't really drag this here because there's really no way to add a function. So I'm going to hit the edit button here. And that brings up this window. Now, some people in class, there is a certain build of Windows that when you do this, this window comes up and it's really small and it flickers and you can hardly see it. And if you were to drag the light out here like this, some students in my classes can't see that because for some reason there's a version of Windows that has this real small. So what I'll do a lot of times in class is I'll just forget that method. I'll go down here where it says Action, and I'll choose Complex. This works in everybody's version of Windows. And I'll just do the same thing. I'll drag this out here like that. Boom. Space equals space 0 semicolon. And then in this case, I can add some text here for a description. So I'm going to say turn the light off. And I hit enter. Okay. So according to this, at 15 seconds, the light should go on. At 20 seconds, the light should go off. There I go, clicking on that other app again. So let's see here. Where are we at here? We're at 2. Okay, great time to download. Let's see what happens here. Of course, it's off because I didn't have it retentive. But let's see here now. 15 seconds, it should come on. Boom. And at 20 seconds, it should go off. Let's see. Perfect, like clockwork. So that worked out great there, team. Okay, so let's continue a little further with this. And let's say that you wanted to cheat and adjust the clock on the red line unit to go ahead in time or some other time or date, and you wanted to see what would happen. So, for instance, if I double-click on this clock thing down here, and right-click, go to Properties, and if you go to the Data tab, we brought this out earlier, Data tab, you see right here, team, it's set up as display only. So if I hit the poll down here and choose data entry, you'll notice whenever I do this in class, I always say, look, the color becomes inverted. That's a telltale sign that field is now set up for data entry. So I'm going to leave that alone, click OK. And of course, now that I did that, I got to make the box a little bigger. All right, let's download this and see what happens here. What does this mean? So if I hit the Shazam, there we go. And notice, team, from before this was at 11 something. I took a lunch break and paused the video, so you can see here it's now 13. You just saw the light go on because there was a bit greater than that. So now I just want to see something. If I was to click in here, and let's say that I want to change something. So I don't know if I can. So I can tab this way, and I can go over here to the apparently to the seconds, and I can say, you know what, these seconds are actually at, say, let's say 30 here. Let's see, well, can I make a number? There, I can do that. I can hit enter. There you go. Hold on a second here. Okay, sorry, I had a phone call there, team. So let's change this again. So here we see the clock's at 22, whatever. So I click on this. I'm going to go across here. And let's see if I can change this to 10, maybe. Okay, I can't do it with the keyboard. Go like this. How about we take it down to, well, let's take it to right there. So notice it's 17. Hey, that's interesting. The clock was, or the signal's off. Did you see that? Well, that's because that's a triggered. So it has to actually go from 14 to 15 to trigger the on. And then it has to go from 19 to 20 to trigger the off. So when I made the clock be like 17 or 18. Well, it didn't actually transition there. I just jumped to that point. So that's why that trigger didn't work. Nonetheless, you can see how I could use this to cheat. And by clicking down here, I can cheat. And what I mean by cheat is I can change maybe the month. How about I take it to March? So if I hit enter, well, I don't have a date on here, but I'm going to. I'm going to put that on here in a little bit. So let's go back here to Crimson. And let's go over here to data tags. And let's add a couple more. Let's add, let's go ahead and click here. And we're going to put a new tag. Let's go over here to system, where I was at earlier in the time. And we have a get day and get days. So let me see if there's any help for get days. What does that mean? There's no help for that one. Okay. How about get day? Let's see that guy. Nothing there. Okay, that's wonderful. And I don't even know about date. What does this show us? Okay, this returns some date going back to January 1st, 1997. Okay. Well, let's do this. I'm going to say, I'm going to put in here, just for giggles, I'm going to do get, I'm going to say, call this one my day. And at the data tab here, I'm going to look here, let's see. I'm going to say, I'm going to drag this get day out here. And I'll put in here, get now. Open, close, parentheses, enter. Okay. And then I'm going to add another one. I just want to see if I can tell what the month is. So I'll go month here. And I have over here a function called getMonth. Right there. Boom. Okay. Once again, I'll put my cursor in here and where that 0 is. Change that to getNow. Enter. All right. Let's go see what this looks like. So I'm going to go over to the right side. And I'll drag my day out here like this. And I'll drag my month out here like this. Maybe I'll stretch the month just a little bit. I don't know why I have these problems with this mouse. Personally, I think it's the mouse pad, but anyway. All right, so I'm going to make this guy the same size as this one here. All right, let's see what this does. So I'll go ahead and save it. I'll download it to my screen. Let's see what the web page shows here. Okay, so this is interesting. It says day 3. Okay, that's we'll talk about that in a second here. Month is 3. Well, let me click here on this guy. And let me see if I can change the month to February, which it really is. Okay, so that changes the month. Day 3. Well, today is actually Wednesday, believe it or not. So if Sunday's 0, Monday's a 1, Tuesday's a 2, Wednesday's a 3, that means this function that I used for day is actually day of the week. So this is the Wednesday, if you will, okay? So what if I wanted to get the date? That's what I was really looking for. So here's a date, and what's this one here? Let me look at this guy here. So that does that. I'm going to try I'm going to try the get date here. Maybe that's what I'm looking. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new. I'll click here, create a new tag, and I'll call this one date. And okay, that looks good. This one is actually team. I'm going to rename this one day of week because it's really, whoops, day of week is what it's called. And this one here was the date, so I'm going to drag it right here. Put that there, and then I'll put a parentheses here. All right, let's see what that does on this thing. Of course, when I click out here, this is going to change because dramatically that will do that. And then I'll drag this new thing out here. And let's just see what this shows. I just want to stretch it here. Hold on here. I cannot have a good day with the mouse. All right, let's try this here. Okay. Aha! So that actually gives us the day of the month. See there, it's the 9th. So the second month, 9th, and it's Wednesday. Perfect. So what I'm getting at here is if somebody wanted to, let's say somebody wanted to do an application where they want to send out some email at the beginning of the month, if you will, I think you could actually use a function where the month equals the new day, and the day would be 0. Actually, you could just do it on any time the day is set to 0. Because I think, I'm not truly smart, but I think there's 28 days in February, I think. So let's try something. If I go down here, and if I tab across and go to the day, let's just try. So let's just change this to 16. Let's see here. So that registers 16. Oh, that's just wonderful. So if I go here and change this to, let's see if it goes to 28. Let's see what it does. Aha! So it only goes to 28 in February. How ironic is that? We'll see that. So if I hit enter, there's 28. Okay, what about this? What if I up March? Are there 28 days in March? I really don't know. No, there's 30 days, 31 days in March. See that? Oh, that's just wonderful. Okay, so in my opinion, I have somebody that's trying to do this right now. So if they wanted to send out an email once a month from this thing, honestly, what I think you could do is anytime that date equals 0, that rolls over to the next day. You could execute your function just like I'm doing here with the light thing. So anyway, what I've done there is basically just a couple examples of how I'm using the GetNow function to create seconds, minutes, hours. We got the day a week. Oh, yep, I'll do something else with that. And the month and the date. Here's a question for you. I'm just going to throw this out to you since I've got a few minutes here left. My day of the week is going to show a 0 to 7, I think. If you look. So right now, let me go back and put this to what today is. Today is February, oops. Today is February 9th. Yep, I think so. So if I go down here to February 9th, give me a second here. All right, that's correct today, and that makes it definitely the Wednesday. So remember I said the third day of the week here? Well, 0 is Sunday, Monday is 1, Tuesday is a 2, Wednesday is a 3. Today is actually a Wednesday. So given that, maybe I want to show that instead of having it be numbers, I want to show it as a text. So if I click on the day of the week tag, either from here or this guy right here, you can right click and you can do jump to. I could actually go to the format tab here, and on the format tab down here where it says general, hit the pick button, and I'm going to declare this a multi-state because it's more than 2 states. We call that a multi-state. Matter of fact, last time I checked, there are 7 days in a week. So I'm going to put 7 for that, or maybe I want to hit edit here. Put in 7. There you go. And now all of a sudden I get down here my different days. If I take my slider bar down, you can see. And I always do this, guys. I'll put a 0 in the first, and I'll just go right through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6. Notice I started at 0 because that's what the app is going to show. 0 through 6 is 7 numbers. Since I'm going to be using fixed concrete numbers and they're not a range from between two parameters. I'm going to leave the match type as discrete. And then right here, I'm just going to put in Sunday for number 0. This one here is going to be Monday. I'll just do shortcuts. This guy's Tuesday, so we'll go Tues. This is Wedsed. This is going to be Thurs, Thurs. This will be Fry. That song's Friday. Everybody. Anyway, let's change this back to a 3-name Sun. Okay, so there we have that, team. And now also remember this from other classes. If I go to the Data tab, well, before I do that, look at these things, and I think you would agree, in my opinion, that that Wednesday and Thursday look to be the widest fields, if you ask me. So if I wanted to mimic this as a Wednesday or Thursday, which would be a 3 or 4, if I go to the Data tab, you can always use the data simulation down here. So if I put in, say, a 4, for instance, here, and then if I go to my display pages over here, notice right now nothing's happened. I haven't clicked on the page here yet for Crimson to refresh. Once I do that, I want you to watch what happens right here. Watch. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to click. Boom. There, it took on that. So now if I download this to it, now, of course, it's not going to show Thursday because that's simulating. If I look at the real screen, today is actually Wednesday. Anyway, pretty cool video to talk about how you can use the GetNow time thing and do some logic based on some day of the week or month or time during the day. Thanks a lot, folks. Have a great day.